can assure you, I do not see this as being the end of the world. I'm not not paying my credit card bills and telling everybody to make sure you pay your bills. There's no 2012 clause in there that, you don't have to pay up past that. So the reality is there is going to be a shift of consciousness and thoughts. And all the astrologers that are on the planet right now are probably in the catbird seat of explanation. You want to really understand what's going on with 2012? Talk to the astrologers and talk to them about the shifts of consciousness and how ages of consciousness are ending and new ones are beginning. So as one is ending, something new has to begin, but there's usually conflict over the change of the balance or shift of power.
So if you've been given this gift and you work with people all the time and you have this great insight, and as you said, there is this battle between the good and evil, the dark and the light. You're impacting on individuals, you're impacting on groups of people. Do you think that sometimes by being a medium and by being able to communicate with those that have passed, do you think you're focusing too much on individuals? Do you think that you've got a bigger job to do, maybe getting more and more people to be aware of their conscious thoughts, of their energies? Or are you really just taking one experience at a time and touching each individual at a time?
Wow. Let's see. It's almost as if you sat in on my astrological consultation that I had last night and spoke to the astrologer about what my path apparently is. Because you're the only person who's ever asked me that question. The reality is I saw myself as, I'm the guy who talks to dead people. I'm the guy who helps people to connect with their family members. And I didn't really see it past that. And then my guides told me, are you ready? And what they meant by that was I ready to take it to the next level? And I felt like I was, and then I started writing books, and everything has been, are you ready? And the are you ready moment has been here for me as well. So I actually have embarked on that, and I am taking that role on, because when I sat on the Oprah Winfrey show and she said, why you? Why you? And I said, I think why me is simple. Not because I'm the best psychic on the planet or that I'm the best medium on the planet, but I'm good at what I do. But coupled with that is my passion for teaching. But because I like to teach people and raise their awareness, I know that my ability will get people into a room. I know that I could pull hundreds of people together, and those hundreds of people want to hear from their family members. And I can deliver and do that. But I can also, while I have their attention, help let them know that there is a shift of consciousness.
Right.
I can let them know, and that's what I do. So for the last couple of years, I've been doing that. I started something called infinitequest.com on the web, and the reason why I started it is I got tired of not seeing the subject matter on television in the way that it needs to be. If you flip through the TV stations in the States, I'm not sure how it is there yet, but when you flip through the channels here, all the programming that's supernatural or metaphysical or paranormal is all done in a very negative, fear-produced way.
Yeah.
It is not inspiring. Completely, to me, dark-sided. It's not anything that makes me feel good. You don't watch it and feel like mom's with you,
yeah,
or dad's with you, or the child that you lost is okay. It makes you wonder if they are okay or if they can connect with you. It makes you feel removed. It makes you feel disconnected from self and soul. I don't like that. So I started infinitequest.com as a place where people can come to learn about all aspects about metaphysics. And it's like a one-stop thing. And we're doing live programming and live shows, and I've got people doing stuff on there that, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm embracing what you just asked me in a very, very big way.
I'm very
happy.
Try
to raise the awareness of the consciousness of the planet. So as we are preparing for these shifts, people are empowered.
I'm very, very happy to hear that, John. So you say it's infinitequest.com.
Infinitequest.com.
Okay.
There's, and I tell people all the time, when you go there, it's constantly evolving, because we all are, and so is it. It is constantly growing. We're constantly adding new features. But I'll give you an example. We do something called Media Mondays. So every Monday, and I know it's ridiculously early in the morning though. And we're going to start switching when we start seeing the audiences coming in from different countries. We're going to start doing it to accommodate some of those countries as well. But every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for about an hour, there is a well-known medium who sits in front of their computer all around the world, and actually will interact with the members on InfiniteQuest.com and do readings. So it's providing, I'm one of the people, Shar Margolis, Robert Brown. There are people, and these are, it's not a psychic hotline. It's the anti-psychic hotline. So we're using the technology available where it used to be that people got taken advantage of. Now we're giving them the opportunity to take advantage of it so that they could lead a more empowered life.
Listen, I was reading on your website page that you don't like to Twitter. You don't like to tweet. I beg your pardon.
I despise thought.
You do? Tell me why.
Well, I don't know. I just think that I get that it's a mainstream thing and everybody does it, but you're limited to 180 characters.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to abandon my education and I have to spell incorrectly. I have a problem with that. I just do. I just have a problem with that. So if I want to get points across, it's like, I'm going to be using numbers and spelling incorrectly to do that. And then I think it reduces it takes away a level. It does exactly what it allows you to do. It puts you directly in contact with the people that want to follow you. I don't want anybody following me. If I wanted followers, I would have started a church. Mm-hmm. So it kind of goes against my whatever. So I feel like, you know what? If people have an interest in what I say, they could go to my website, which is johneverett.net. They can click on email newsletter, and that is where I do my twitterings. My twitterings are usually like 2 or 3 pages long at a time, But I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the whole anything social networking. I mean, I know like I have a Facebook account and all that. We have Twitter. I do not do that. I sit with the person. They ask me questions. I answer them. But I will not actively do that.
So how do you feel about people, John, who have kind of put you on this almost ethereal pedestal? They see you as, this, and you can't control how people do perceive you and how people feel about you, but there are people out there who see you as the answer to everything. How do you feel about that, and how do you respond to that?
That's so not me. I remember one time I was walking out of a theater, and there was a woman. She was standing there. She goes, "Oh my God, could I just touch you?" my wife was standing there, and she looked at the woman with this look of like, "Ew, why?" Like, it's just him. Like, really? If you knew him, you wouldn't be saying that. Like, it's just him. No, you know what? I understand, but I really understand even beyond that. It's not me. It's the perception of me through the filter of what I do.
Okay.
And really, a lot of times when you have that kind of person, it's because of something inside themselves that they want to see in themselves that they're seeing in me. So I don't take any of that really, really seriously, because I really feel like I'm as good as my last reading. Right. And no matter how many years I'm doing this, if I have an off night, it's tough. When you have an off night and you're doing this and you can't get the message across, it's a lot of energy that you're expelling to try to help the people on the other side come across.
And what about people who spend so much time and energy debunking what you do and what you say and what you represent, calling you, a hoax?
Oh, that's being kind. That's being quite kind. You can't be a public person and claim to talk to dead people and then think that you're not going to get that. That's just unrealistic. Okay. So I'm realistic. I have a rule. I don't read anything that people write about me, whether positive or negative. And when I say that, people think I don't mean it, but I do mean it. Like, I don't read anything. Okay. And the reason being is if I didn't write it, it's not important. Mm-hmm. And when people look at it, they go, well, that's egotistical. I go, no, what I'm saying is, if somebody's going to sing my praises and say I'm amazing, yes, it's flattering. But if somebody writes the opposite, then I have to own that just as much as the same way. So, my only thing is when somebody does a personal attack. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to say you don't believe in it, and here's the reasons why, if you want to say that, but the problem is that you don't see psychics attacking the skeptics. You don't see psychics personally going after somebody who is saying that they're not a believer. It rarely ever happens. Nobody calls them on it or takes them to task. Right. But the skeptics go out of their way to try to, not only villainize the person with their motives and intentions, but then to villainize their motivations. And I have a problem with that because none of these people knew how it was for a 19-year-old kid who didn't have a father, whose mother died at the age of 48, who is now going to be responsible for his mother's house, mortgage, cars, taxes, insurance, tuition, long list of stuff, you know. So, but that was just, you know, that's never discussed.
Yeah.
Nobody ever talks about things that would be of a personal nature that would have gotten me focused in this work, which is wanting to know if my mom would be around when I got married and had kids. Like, none of that's ever discussed. One person went so far as saying that they didn't believe that my mother was actually even dead, that I used that to, when I talk about it at my events, that I use that to make people feel sorry for me.
And
that's deplorable.
It is deplorable. It is. It is. And I suppose that, as you say, when you're a public figure and when you're out there and you're controversial because of just by the nature of what you're doing, because people can't just, you know, find a solution or scientifically back up what you're doing, people are going to criticize you.
But you see, there is backup. There is a lot of scientific stuff that's going on. They just don't want to look at it.
Really?
They just don't want to look at it. Here's the problem. The problem is like, you know, a skeptic will say, well, if I see proof, well, there have been a number of studies around the world where data has been collected and has been, you know, shown to people, and then the responses that come back is, yeah, well, we weren't there to see that. We didn't do our own tests. We didn't this and we did. You can't say that. You just can't say that. Nobody's calling Sweden or wherever that hadron converter is with it splitting cells and stuff. Nobody's going, well, I don't believe it's happening because I didn't see it. So there's always an argument. So that means that they're not really skeptical. It means that they're cynical.
Yeah.
And if they're cynical, nothing's going to change their mind. So if I can't help that person, then I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
Because I got people I can help.
Absolutely. Now, John, you're coming to South Africa soon, which is great. You've been here a few times.
I am. I think this is unfortunately the way my schedule's planning out. I think this is going to be my last appearance there for probably about 2 years.
Oh, no. Well, to tell us, when are you coming? When will the events be taking place? And tell us what people can expect from you.
I'm coming in September. All the information is on johnedward.net.
Okay.
So if they can go to johnedward.net, they can find out times and tickets and everything. I'm going to be in Cape Town and Johannesburg and Durban. It's basically crossing over live without the commercials. It's honestly, that's the best way I can describe it. People are going to come in. I'm going to come out and address the crowd, explain a little bit about the process, answer some of their questions, and then read as many people as I possibly can in the audiences. Awesome.
And how long does it last?
About 2 hours.
Wow. You must be exhausted afterwards.
Yeah, sometimes I'll go a little bit longer, but yeah, it's about 2 hours.
Okay. And just one more question I have to ask you. I mean, you are a psychic. So if I ask you in time what the lottery numbers are coming up on Saturday, will you be able to tell me?
Only if they gave them to me. And unfortunately, that does not seem to be part of my...
John, I mean, when people ask you ridiculous questions like that and they really want to know the future, do you think people should know what the future holds?
This is what I think. I'm a big believer in using the word projections. Because I like to believe that my life is projected based upon my actions today. So if I don't like something that's coming up, then that projection, that line of probability could be shifted because I believe God gave me free will, and I'm going to be the one who's manifesting my destiny. Are there certain things on my path that are going to happen that would be fate or destiny, predictions, so to speak? Absolutely, because those things teach us the lessons that we're here to learn. But how we get from point A to B and B to C, that, my friends, that's up to us.
John Edwards, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. It has been such an honor, really, spending time and chatting with you. And hope you have a fantastic time here in South Africa. And and that quest that you're on with your infinite quest, may it just go from strength to strength. Thank you so much, John.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.